Sometimes it obscures the far greater work and significance of Augustine's life as somebody who exercised enormous insight into the nature of will, memory, the power of rhetoric itself, the nature of conversion, what it means to be human, glimpses into the heart of divinity. So in an important way, we can easily skewer Augustine, and it's false and it's wrong. And one way to begin the process of redressing, if you like, this contemporary image of Augustine is actually to go and to look at the Confessions. And in some ways, I suppose, the Confessions itself, because of some of the language used about his struggle with his own sexuality, with his own lust, to put it more specifically, perhaps has, in a sense, defined him in ways that we now have to break to see the deeper Augustine, to see the greater Augustine. And so that's what we're going to try to do, but just simply looking at Confessions. And the Confessions does not deal with the whole of Augustine's life. It actually really covers only the periods from 354 right up to around 387. There is a period after the Confessions is written, and he covers only a specific part of the life up to really the conversion, just shortly after. And this is very important because it allows us to see the dynamic. Now, some scholars and translators, perhaps most impressively, Gary Wills, have argued that in a very real sense of the term, Confessions is not a spiritual autobiography. He says the book is a theological construct, best compared with other constructs that use autobiographical elements, like Dante's Divine Comedy. Similar to Dante, Augustine moves simultaneously both outward, exploring the revelation of God, and inward, letting that revelation affect and alter him. Now, with all due respect to Professor Wills, one of our most preeminent public intellectuals, classicists, and translators from the Greek in the United States, I would argue that, in fact, it is a spiritual autobiography for the very reasons he himself admits. There are parts of the autobiography that deal precisely with these moments of disclosure and revelation. And to the degree that they allow us to see, to provide a lens to look into the operations of the soul, of this particular soul, of the psychology, of the theological yearning, of the spiritual lusting, of the chronicle of memory, all of these contribute in a very real way to what is an autobiographical construct with very specifically spiritual dimensions. So I think we can argue that it is in fact a spiritual autobiography. It brings us into the torment and into the struggle, into the elegant transparency, and also into the extraordinary psychological world in which Augustine, with uncharacteristic thoroughness and probity, examines intentionality, motivation, the contrariness, the contradictions that are at the heart of the human psychological makeup, the struggle with ideas, but the struggle with flesh, the